Take a comfortable position. Let your hands rest naturally. Allow your eyes to remain open for another moment. Notice 3 objects in the room. Notice the surface beneath your body. Notice that you are here, now, and safe enough to practice. You are not required to force relaxation. You are not required to perform hypnosis correctly. You're simply giving your mind and body an opportunity to learn a new response. Take a slow breath in and let it out without pushing. Again, breathe in gently and breathe out a little more slowly. One more time. In and out. When you are ready, allow your eyes to close, or let your gaze soften towards one quiet point. You remain controlled throughout the entire practice. You can move, adjust, open your eyes, or stop at any time. Nothing in this practice overrides your judgment. Nothing in this practice removes your boundaries. This practice strengthens your ability to notice what you want, state it clearly, and remain grounded while another person responds. Let these words settle. I am not asking him to validate my work. I am checking compatibility. There may be a part of you that believes you must carefully manage how a man sees you. Perhaps that wants to prevent him from thinking you are greedy. Perhaps that part wants him to prevent him from thinking you are greedy, demanding, calculating, transactional, difficult, too much, not worth it. That part may believe that if you say the right words with the perfect tone at the perfect moment, you can guarantee that he will understand you. You can guarantee that he will still like you. You can guarantee that he will not reject you. But you cannot control another person's interpretation. And you do not need to. Your responsibility is honesty. Your responsibility is discernment. Your responsibility is safety. His interpretation belongs to him. His decision belongs to him. Your decision belongs to you. Breathe in. And on the exhale, silently say, his opinion is not an emergency. Again, his opinion is not an emergency. Bring your attention to your forehead. You do not need to make it relax. Simply notice it. Notice the muscles around your eyes. Notice your jaw. If your teeth are touching, allow a little space between them. Let your tongue rest. Notice your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your hands. There is nothing you need to hold right now. Nothing you need to prove right now. Nothing you need to negotiate right now. Let your attention move through your chest, your ribs, your abdomen. Notice whether you are holding your breath. You do not need to take a dramatic breath. Just allow the next breath to arrive naturally. And allow the exhale to complete itself. Let your attention move through your hips, your legs, your feet. Feel the weight of your body being supported. You do not have to hold yourself up emotionally every second. For this moment, the surface beneath you is doing the holding. Imagine a gentle wave of heaviness beginning at the top of your head. Not a trapped heaviness, a supported heaviness. The kind of heaviness that tells the body it's allowed to stop performing. The wave moves slowly over your forehead, around your eyes, through your cheeks, across your jaw, down the back of your neck, across your shoulders. Your shoulders do not need to protect your ears. Let them lower by one small degree. The wave travels through your upper arms, your elbows, your forearms, your palms, your fingers. With every exhale, you may become 5% less concerned with doing it perfectly. The waves move through your chest, your back, your abdomen, your hips, your thighs, your knees, your lower legs, your ankles, the soles of your feet, and now imagine that each exhale sends a quiet message through your nervous system. I do not need to solve anything in this moment. I am allowed to observe. I am allowed to choose. Imagine that you are standing at the top of a wide staircase with 10 comfortable steps. There is a handrail beside you. You may stop on any step. At the bottom is a quiet room where you can practice speaking honestly without needing to impress anyone. I will count from 10 down to 1. With each number, allow yourself to become more absorbed in the practice. Not less aware, more present. 10. You begin descending at your own pace. 9. Your breathing finds its own rhythm. 8. The outside world can become less important for a while. 7. Your body is supported. 6. You do not need to anticipate anyone's reaction. 5. Halfway down. 4. Your mind can become quieter without becoming empty. 3. Your boundaries remain fully available. 2. You are approaching the practice room. 1. You arrive. Imagine the room in whatever way feels comfortable. It may be bright and elegant, simple and quiet, warm and private. There's a chair for you. Your feet can rest firmly on the floor. There's a second chair several feet away. No one is sitting there yet. This room belongs to you. No one enters without your permission. No one moves closer without your permission. No one touches you. No one blocks the door. You always know where the exit is. Notice what changes in your body when you remember that you control the distance. Silently repeat, I can be interested and still remain in control of my choices. Interest is not surrender. Conversation is not consent. Generosity does not purchase access. Imagine that part of you that becomes terrified before stating what you want. You do not need to see it as a person. You may experience it as a sensation, a tight chest, a heavy stomach, a hot face, a blank mind, an urge to laugh, an urge to minimize, an urge to say it doesn't really matter, an urge to wait for him to bring it up, an urge to appear completely unimpressed by money, an urge to prove that you like him for the right reasons. Notice this protective reaction without criticizing it. It learned that being judged could become dangerous. It may believe that rejection means humiliation, that misunderstanding means exposure, that a man's disapproval means you have done something wrong. Speak gently to this part. Thank you for trying to protect me. You learn to prevent rejection by hiding what you want. But hiding does not create safety. It creates uncertainty. I can protect myself through clarity, observation, and choice. The protective part does not need to disappear. It simply needs a new job. Its old job was keep every man comfortable, prevent every negative opinion, avoid every rejection, never appear to want too much. Its new job is notice behavior, notice pressure, notice inconsistency, Notice contempt. Notice entitlement. Notice whether words and actions match. Notice whether your body feels open, exposed, pressured, or unsafe. Your fear does not have to manage his opinion anymore. Your fear can help you gather information. Imagine handing the protective part a clipboard. Its task is to no longer silence you. Its task is to observe. Did he answer the question respectfully? Did he become insulting? Did he become vague? Did he pressure you? Did he try to purchase control? Did he respond with maturity even when the answer was no? You are not on trial. You are interviewing reality. I do not have to prevent rejection. I only have to notice alignment. Imagine that someone is now sitting in the second chair. You do not need to picture a specific person. He represents a respectful, established man you are considering. He may be interested. He may be generous. He may also be incompatible. You do not know yet, and not knowing is allowed. You feel your feet on the floor. You notice your breathing. You remember the exits. You are not trapped inside his reaction. You begin with a simple truth. I've enjoyed getting to know you. Notice what happens in your body. Then, I'm looking for a consistent relationship where generosity and support are naturally part of the dynamic. Is that something you're comfortable with? Notice the urge to explain, to add qualifications, to say that you are not materialistic, to list everything you would offer, to reassure him that you really like him, to laugh, to say, but no pressure. You do not need to obey that urge. You have asked a clear question. Now you breathe. You observe. You allow silence. His silence is not an emergency. His facial expression is not an emergency. His surprise is not an emergency. His disappointment is not an emergency. You are allowed to be seen wanting something. Wanting support does not make you dishonest. Stating a preference does not force anyone to meet it. Hearing no does not reduce your worth. A mismatch is not a moral failure. Let these ideas settle slowly. My request does not determine my value. His answer does not determine my value. A respectful no is a useful information. A contemptuous response is useful information. A vague promise is not an agreement. Consistency is demonstrated through action. You do not have to make the conversation feel effortless for him. You do not have to apologize for introducing a topic that affects whether the relationship works for you. You can be warm without becoming vague. You can be direct without becoming aggressive. You can receive generosity without surrendering autonomy. You can discuss money without turning consent into transaction. You can like him and still decide that he is not a fit. Both can be true. Return to the scene. You are seated in a public place. You control your transportation. A trusted person knows where you are. You are sober and able to make clear decisions. The interaction has been respectful. You feel enough interest to ask about alignment. Before speaking, you exhale once. Your shoulders remain relaxed. Your face remains soft. You do not perform embarrassment. You say, "I've enjoyed getting to know you. I'm looking for a relationship where consistent generosity and support are part of the dynamic." Is that something you're looking for too? Again, slightly slower. I've enjoyed getting to know you. I'm looking for a relationship where consistent generosity and support are part of the dynamic. Is that something you're looking for too? Now imagine that he responds, positively but vaguely. I like taking care of a woman. You do not accept the fantasy before verifying the meaning. You say, what does taking care of someone look like to you? He says, dinner, trips, gifts, helping out sometimes. You remain calm. You say, I'm looking for consistency rather than occasional gifts. What level of monthly support did you have in mind? Notice your body as the words leave your mouth. Perhaps there is tightness. The tightness is allowed. You do not need to wait until all fear disappears. Courage is not the absence of activation. Courage is staying connected to your values while your body experiences activation. You can speak with a beating heart. You can speak with warmth in your face. You can speak without controlling his answer. Now imagine stating your actual target. For something consistent, I would be looking for approximately $5,000 in monthly support. Expectations would need to be clear and mutually comfortable. You do not lean forward eagerly. You do not shrink backward apologetically. You remain where you are. You allow him to think. You allow yourself to observe. Your tone communicates. This is information. This is a preference. This is not a demand. This is not an auction. This is not permission for control. This is not guaranteed intimacy. This is not proof of your worth. It is a compatibility conversation. Repeat silently. I can state the number without becoming the number. My humanity is not being priced. Support does not buy my body, my obedience, or my silence. Now you will rehearse several possible responses. You do not need to make any of them happen. You are teaching your nervous system that you can remain grounded through uncertainty. He says no respectfully. He says, that isn't the kind of relationship I'm looking for. You feel disappointment. You breathe. You respond, I understand. It sounds like we're not aligned. I enjoyed getting to know you, and I wish you well. You do not lower your standard automatically because you feel loss. You do not punish him. You do not persuade him. You accept the information. He becomes judgmental. He says, that sounds transactional. You breathe. You answer. If that feels transactional to you, then we may not be a fit. I wish you well. You do not defend your entire character. You do not submit evidence that you are a good person. You leave his interpretation with him. He tries to shame you. He says, "You are not worth it." You notice the contempt. Your protective part marks it clearly. This is not a negotiation. You say, "This conversation is over." You stand, you take your belongings, you move toward a populated area. You use your own transportation. You do not prove your worth to someone who has chosen disrespect. He makes a lower offer. He says, "I can offer 2,000. You do not panic. You do not immediately accept. You do not immediately reject. You ask yourself, would this genuinely work for me? Would I resent it? Is he expecting exclusivity? Is he expecting control? Is he expecting guaranteed intimacy?" You may say, "I could consider that a non-exclusive relationship, provided expectations are clear and support does not guarantee intimacy." Or you may say, "Thank you for being clear. That does not meet what I'm looking for." Both are allowed. Your decision comes from actual standard, not scarcity. He says, "Spend a few months proving yourself, and then I'll take care of you." You remember, promised money is not received money. Future generosity does not replace clarity. You say, "I'm looking for consistency from the beginning, not a promise for later." It sounds like we're not aligned. He ties support to sexual access. He says, "Come home with me and then I'll decide." Your body tightens. This time, tightening becomes a cue for action. Not appeasement, not negotiation, not debate. You say, "No, I'm leaving." You create distance, you move towards safety. You do not let the money negotiate against your body. He responds with maturity. He says, "Yes, I'm comfortable discussing that. I would want us both to be clear about what we expect." You do not become swept away by relief. You stay curious. You say, "Good, I'm interested in consistency, mutual enjoyment, and respect." Support will never guarantee intimacy, and either of us would remain free to communicate if the relationship no longer worked. A good answer is not the end of the screening. It is the beginning of observing whether his actions match his words. Imagine yourself several weeks from now. You are not transformed into someone cold. You have not stopped caring what anyone thinks. You have simply stopped treating every opinion as a verdict. You can feel attraction without surrendering judgment. You can appreciate wealth without confusing it with character. You can receive dinner without feeling in debt. You can receive a gift without promising access. You can hear a generous offer without accepting unsafe conditions. You can hear a no without collapsing. You can hear a cruel response and leave. You can hear a mature response and continue screening. You can receive support without becoming dependent on promises. Imagine your face during the conversation. Soft, composed, present. Imagine your voice, warm, unhurried, clear. Imagine your body, feet grounded, shoulders relaxed, breathing steady enough, not perfectly calm, steady enough. Imagine the moment immediately after you state your standard. You do not rush to fill the silence. You do not negotiate against yourself. You do not smile as though asking for forgiveness. You simply remain present. Now repeat each statement after me. It is safe to know what I want. It is safe to state what I want. Another person is free to decline. I am free to decline. Compatibility does not require persuasion. Generosity without respect is not support. Money without safety is not an opportunity. Promised money is not received money. A gift does not create a debt. Support does not purchase intimacy. My consent remains voluntary, specific, and revocable. I can be warm enough to approach and discerning enough to leave. I do not need to appear unimpressed. I do not need to appear eager. I am allowed to observe. I am allowed to receive. I am allowed to say no. I am allowed to ask directly. His opinion is information, not identity. I am not asking him to validate my worth. I am checking compatibility. Imagine an upcoming real conversation. You are in a safe public setting. You have already determined that there is basic attraction and respectful interest. You feel the familiar flutter in your stomach. Instead of interpreting it as command to avoid the subject, you recognize it as energy. Your body is preparing for honesty. You press your feet gently into the floor. You exhale. You silently say, I can survive being misunderstood. I can survive hearing no. I can remain myself while he reacts. Then you say, I'm looking for a consistent relationship where generosity and support are naturally part of the dynamic. Is that something you're looking for too? See yourself remaining quiet. See yourself listening. See yourself noticing tone, words, and behavior. See yourself responding rather than reacting. If he is aligned, you continue with care. If he is not aligned, you leave with dignity. If he becomes disrespectful, you end the conversation. You do not lose by receiving accurate information. Every clear answer saves you from building a fantasy around ambiguity. Imagine walking away from the conversation, whether the outcome was yes, no, or not enough information. You are still whole. Your worth has not increased. Your worth has not decreased. You simply know more than you knew before. That is success. It is time to return your attention fully to the room. You may keep whatever language felt useful. You may discard anything that did not fit. Remember that you remain responsible for your choices and safety. I will count from 1 to 5. At 5, you can open your eyes, feeling alert, grounded, and present. 1. Notice the surface beneath you. 2. Notice your breathing is becoming slightly fuller. 3. Gently move your fingers and toes. 4. Roll your shoulders or stretch in any comfortable way. 5. Open your eyes. Look around the room. Name the date, your location, and 3 things you can see. Take one final breath and say aloud, I am not asking him to validate my worth. I am checking compatibility. Then rehearse the sentence once more in your natural speaking voice. I am looking for a consistent relationship where generosity and support are naturally part of the dynamic. Is that something you're looking for too?